Here is the front load Maytag washer, and the complaint from the customer is that we need to replace the door gasket, also known as the bellow. And what I'm showing you here is how the mold and mildew has gotten into the fabric of this door, boot, gasket, bellow. They go by several different names. The only way to repair this is to replace it. And in this pocket you see I'm pulling out a coin. And there are a couple of ways that you can repair this door gasket, but of course the washer has to be disassembled. And before you do that, you got to remove the first door band, which is on the outside. To disassemble it, all you have to do is take a flathead screwdriver, and the door band, or the gasket band, is at the bottom all the way around. Start at the bottom. That's where the spring is located, and then all you have to do is pull it off and then just put it to the side and move it out your way. The next step is just to simply pull the outer gasket portion off of the front of the washer and just fold it inside, because your next step is to remove the door lock, which needs to be moved out of the way. It only has, for this particular washer, is 2 hex screws, and then they'll come right out and you can move the door latch or the door lock. Here I'm just looking around and showing you where the inner door boot seal clamp is located. Next step, remove the top cover by removing 2 screws from the back panel and just lift up and out. Now you need to remove the detergent drawer so you can get to the screws on the top panel or the user interface control panel to remove it out the way next. After removing the detergent drawer, this particular washer has 2 hex screws, usually the Phillips head. Remove those first and then remove the top. The top screws are 1/4 inch, so just use a 1/4 inch nut driver. Remove those, and then with this washer, all you have to do to remove the console is to pull forward, and then it will unsnap, and you will be able to move it out of the way. As you can see here, just pull the console forward. You can leave the harness connected. You won't need to replace it, and this is just a tip. Always remove as little as possible. I'm pointing to the 3 screws that are connecting the top of the panel for the front. Here's how you remove the screws from the door latch or the door lock, and then you're going to remove the bottom screws or the top. You decide which way you want to do it. This washer has 4 1/4 inch screws that are holding the front panel. Remove those first, because if you remove the top ones and you've already removed the screws from the door latch, it is possible that front panel can fall forward and cause injury. Now you can remove the top screws, and then once you remove those, all you have to do is lift up and that front panel will come off, and then you just move it to the side to get it out of your way, so you can now access that inner door seal or boot clamp or band that you're going to have to remove next. So again, once you remove all the screws, lift up, as you can see here, and it comes right off. Set it to the side, and now you're going to access that door boot, or some people call it a bellow, some people call it a gasket. Here's what it looks like when the door is removed, and now you have access to all of the connections. These connections, all you really need to do is pull up and they will come right out. If you need to remember where all the connections are located, then I would suggest that you take a picture with your cell phone or iPad. What I'm doing here is what I suggest is I'm taking a black marker and I'm marking the very tip of the old door boot and it has a little pyramid there. You will see it. I apologize if you can't see it here with the camera that I'm using. But what this is going to ensure is that when you take off the old one, you align the new one exactly as the old one came off. And I do recommend this tip, especially if this is your first or second time replacing a door gasket or door seal. All I did here was remove the connections at the top of the gasket, and I'm just showing you how easy. You just pull out. Make sure again that you take a picture so you'll know where everything goes when you go to put on the new bellow or gasket. Here's that inner band that's holding the inner part of this door gasket or door seal. It's a Phillip head. All you do is unscrew it. You don't need to unscrew it completely, just enough to slip it over the bellow that's currently on the washer. And as you can see there, that's what it looks like. And then just put it out of the way, and of course you'll use that later. Take a close look, guys, at how this inner gasket is connected to the tub, because you're going to need that knowledge to reinstall the new one. As with the front of the washer, once you remove that door band or clamp, all you have to do is peel it off. But again, notice that lip of how the old one is coming off, because when you reinstall it, it has to go on the inner lip of the tub in the plastic area. As you see here, I'm intentionally slowing and peeling so you can get a good grasp of where that seal was connected to this plastic front of that inner tub. Here's an insert from one of the tubes that came off the front top of the bellow or gasket. You need to remove that so you can place it with the new bellow or door seal. Now that we've got the washer all cleaned off, here's the new bellow or door gasket. See that tip at the top? That's why we made those marks on the front portion of this tub, because you want to align the new door seal as the old one was on there. Otherwise, when you go to reinstall it or put that inner door band on, everything's going to be out of place. I always start from the bottom and work my way up to the top, because being that the door seal or the bellow is so flimsy, flexible, it'll keep falling off. So I recommend you start from the bottom. The most challenging part of replacing the bellow or seal is the inner band. While you're putting the seal on that front portion of the the tub, that's the most challenging part. You have to take your time, and you need to double check your work before you put that band or clamp on that inner portion of this bellow or seal. My apologies, guys, my camera didn't record me putting that clamp back on, but it's simple. All you need to do is just put it back on before you connect these three connections here, and then tighten it down with a Phillip head. As you see here, I'm lubricating the door bellow. This just makes it easier to insert the overflow tube, the sensor, and the detergent hose. Like I said, while the fact that it's lubricated, they go in considerably easier and quicker. All I'm doing at this point is double checking to make sure that inner band or clamp is on securely, and that all around the tub, that inner connection is secure and nothing is loose. You do want to do that. Now that I know that everything is secure and the bellow or the seal is on correctly, I'm using a Bosch drill with a certain amount of torque as I tighten that band. Another tip, do not over tighten. I had done that when I first started, broke the band, and had to order a new one and come back a couple days later. So make sure you don't over tighten that inner band. Now that we've double checked our work, we reinstalled the door latch. You need to do that before you secure this outer door gasket portion of this bellow, and before you put that outer clamp on it. And all you do is pull it all the way around make sure it goes around that lip securely. Again, all I'm doing is double checking my work. I'm pointing to the door latch because that's a common mistake. You will forget to reinstall it before you put on this front door band. With this front door band, I would suggest the spring removal tool. It makes it a lot easier. Always put the stretch portion or the coil portion of the door band at the 6 o'clock. Here's the tool I was mentioning. Makes it a lot easier to replace that outer door band or clamp. As always, once you complete your work, test everything, make sure there are no leaks, and the washer is operating correctly.